Hello, it is Tuesday, February 7th, 2023 at 9:34 a.m. Eastern Time, USA. This is my video journal. I'm Mitch Miller. And today is going to be it's a special election day and it's a State of the Union. Biden's going to do the State of the Union address. So I thought rather than waiting till tomorrow to do another segment of my video journal, I would do it today. So I said on the last one that episode of Pawn Stars came up and helped me with my investigation, and how that could happen to other people because there's so much media out there that the supercomputers can arrange things so that certain media pops up in front of certain investigators and it would help them with their investigation. That episode of Pawn Stars was season 7, episode 26. With the hand restraint devices that I was talking about. A little bit of housekeeping before we talk about the legalization of marijuana, other ideas I have. Look, I've put my 2003 Toyota Matrix up for sale on Facebook Marketplace, and it blows my mind that not one person from the government or anything would pay me what I'm asking or close to it, $1,800, $2,000 for this collector's item, this car. It just goes to show you that the government is not interested in getting me the funds I need to start the technology projects that will change the world into a better place. The government is cowards, just like I argued about military leadership the other day. People that work for the government are just as cowardly, afraid to reach out, afraid to pay money for a vehicle for what it's worth, afraid to buy a piece of my art and support me in any way. So there's that. Not much to say about that. So we're talking the legalization of marijuana. I've argued before that if it should become federally legal, they should do it through cafes and through liquid units of marijuana so that we can fit it into the Liquor Control Board scheme of legalized substances. And here's my thought process on what I was going to do as mayor. And this was going to be in the book, not the book I'm writing. Oh, that's the other thing I wanted to talk about. The book I'm writing on this computer about my 68-day stint in UPMC Northwest. I'm going to transfer that to another file and try to write it on my laptop since I'm between here and Utica on a regular basis. It'll allow me to take my notes and spread out up there. So I'm going to try to transfer that file onto my laptop. Originally my thought process was to write the whole thing on this computer, then use this computer to reach out to African universities to see if they would publish my book. I've abandoned that and use this computer for a video journal, so I think that's enough. But in the fourth book, my fourth book that I wanted to write, the one I wrote on the secret page on my Plot M website about Trump having Trump and the military using technology to create an assassination type device. In that book, the beginning of it, I was going to be in a mental hospital. The character Mitch Miller was going to be in a mental hospital, and I was going to share a bunch of ideas I had, a bunch more ideas I had as mayor of Pittsburgh that I didn't share in the first book, in the book Femme Party. And it was going to kind of be like a blur, like, are these people in the mental hospital there because they're hiding from someone, or are they actual mental patients? So one of these ideas that, and I decided to release these ideas through this video journal, just to get them out there instead of writing that book, because I don't think I'll have time to write that book anytime soon. The idea for legalizing marijuana in the city of Pittsburgh was, we'll legalize it, we'll let you grow it, but you have to use, any revenue raised beyond a reasonable profit has to go to a twofold program. One that uses human waste, human feces, for fertilizer. And I think this already does get sold from the water treatment plant to certain farmers for fertilizer. I'm not sure how that program works, but my thought process is, if you want to smoke the wacky tobacco, well, you got to know that it's grown using human waste. And then two, develop a door-to-door, there's Zelda, a door-to-door composting program. So much like our door-to-door trash pickup and recycling pickup, we're going to start a composting program. So with the human waste, the human feces, you can bake that under UV light or some other type of thing to kill all the harmful bacteria off of it, and then it's just basically dirt without any bacteria in it. Then you reintroduce the compost, the food waste, into it, and the safe bacteria for fertilizer. So revenue would go to specialized trucks that pick up compost at the door. People will be approved if they're in the compost program. They won't have any meats, any bones in their compost. They're approved people, but they can put their compost out to the curb on specific nights, and that would all go to a centralized compost situation where fertilizer is made, and it keeps this food waste, this compostable waste, out of the landfill and gets it reused into farming and things like that. So either to grow marijuana or vegetables, foods, stuff like that. So my idea for this compost program is that we partner with restaurants, which I already proposed a way to partner with them, and we distribute these special compostable takeout containers. They're about that thick, they're round, about that round, and they don't fit into each other. They kind of nest into each other so that there's that much space, and maybe that much of it fits down in, and it makes an airtight seal. So then we have a special receptacle that people can buy for their house, or they're distributed for free via the marijuana tax or whatever, however we rule that out. And it's a round container that fits these containers in, and it has like a spring-loaded thing on it that keeps one container, one that thick container up top. You put all your compostable things in there. Once it's full, you nest another container down and on top of it, push it down, and the spring locks down so that that's at the top of the can, and the container underneath it is airtight. The container itself is made of a compostable material, and you continue to nest these containers down into the receptacle until you have, a 3 or 4 foot, 3 foot high column of these sealed compost containers that will have a compostable bag that goes in the receptacle that goes around them. You tie that off, you put it out to the curb, then they collect it, and these containers are all sealed up, and you have a lid for the very top one, and then those can be churned up, ground up, the container and all, into a compostable situation. And the idea is that restaurants give these out as their takeout containers, as well as a way to distribute these specialized containers out to the public, so you don't have to buy them. You could get them from restaurants as takeout containers, save them, wash them out, save them, and use them in your special compost receptacle. So maybe they have a plastic lid that is recyclable, that you can throw in recycling, but it's a way to have compost in your house that is, the smell of it isn't emanating. They push down and seal into each other, and then you take them out to the curb. So that's my genius idea for a compost program at the city level. So if we legalize marijuana on the federal level, we could work city by city to incorporate a solid composting program, and also the waste produced by the water treatment facility, way to distribute that, instead of lying to people and not telling them that their foods and vegetables are grown in human repurposed waste. We could be very honest up front and say, look, you're smoking marijuana that was grown with human waste as part of the fertilizer program. And people would still probably smoke it. You know, they drink alcohol. It's a chemical that is a poison and things like that. So that's just another thought process for the legalization of marijuana on the federal level, working city by city, town by town to produce the best way to do it. So that's all I really have for today. Thanks for watching, and join me next week sometime when I talk about something else. So thanks for watching.